Tickets. Tickets, please.
Your soul.
Step inside. Take a ride upon the terror train. All aboard, be fair warned. These rails house fear and pain. Find a seat, don't mind the heat. Just pray the lights stay on. Upon these rails, these bloody rails, in darkness lies no dawn. Yes, step inside, come crawl or glide. With us you shall remain. Upon this ride, this hellish ride, we call the terror train. Ticket, please. James Ward Kirk Publications presents Terror Train. Episode 109. Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia.
Welcome aboard. Welcome to my home. I am the disembodied voice, your ghost host, so to speak. Call me Terror. Welcome to my train. Be you dead, undead, or of the living. Good evening, my fellow hellbound travelers. Tonight we seal the doors behind several dark poets and an author of the macabre. Do make haste, the lights won't stay on much longer. So, take a seat and join us permanently. Oh, yes, there is no turning back. Not on this track. The first bloody ticket handed to our conductor belongs to Brian Barnett, boarding from Kentucky. Haikus he has penned in exchange for his lovely immortal soul. Haikus relating to ghostly trains and murderous men. Really? Just wait until the lights go out, Mr. Barnett. What ghostly manifestations await you deep in the darkness? Brian Barnett. Ghost train. Black soot. Waiting for the train. Penny on the rails. And the boxcar butcher.
Take it, please. Haikus by Brian Bonnet. Kentucky Ghost Train. Kentucky Ghost Train. At midnight, souls burn like coal, howling in the night. Black soot. Black soot raining down. The bus did not cross in time. Frankfurt tragedy. Waiting for the train. Harrodsburg hobo claims another life tonight. Waiting for a train. Penny on the rails. Penny on the rails. Testing the myth in Danville. Terrible success. The boxcar butcher. The boxcar butcher. Selecting the choicest meats. Ripe bluegrass corpses.
Second passenger to enter the train car of many shadows is Matthias Janssen, who boards from North Carolina. He carries a poem of murder, a train, and the glorious number 666. His bloody ticket reads, Matthias Janssen, last train from Hamlet.
Ticket, please. Last Train from Hamlet by Matthias Janssen. The gates closed behind him. Sweat poured down his neck. On the platform, 6 shadows stared at the train leaving the station. Cabin number 6 was empty, the air foggy and hot when he took his seat. In the ears he felt the pressure when the train was swallowed by the tunnel, descended fast down the track. Suddenly he was sitting alone in the dark, a darkness full of unknown pain, biting, stinging, cutting him in the side. A light from a fire outside. lit up the cabin as a shimmering shine. He saw them all on the empty seats. Lorraine, who he killed when he was a teen. Mr. Brown with a knife still in his back. The old lady with the smashed brain. The young girl with dripping wet dress. A headless man in a brown suit. And an unknown guy with a bloody shirt. But the only thing that he could think of was that they all sat on seat 66 in cabin 6.
Permanently tucked among the shadows, we hear the screams of Abdul Qadir Tariq Bakari Muhammad. Ooh, that's a mouthful. A bloodied mouthful. His track involves North Carolina and Virginia. His poem deals with a haunted train and a slave woman. Do you feel the chill in the air? Oh, you will. The bloody ticket reads, Abdul Qadir Tariq Bakari Muhammad, the ordeal of Mary
Ticket, please. The Ordeal of Mary Rogers by Abdul Qadir Tariq Bakari Muhammad. Interview of Mr. Johnny Rogers, ex-slave. Norfolk, Virginia, May 5th, 1937. The following interview was conducted by myself, Jonathan Rutherford, for inclusion in the slave narratives of the Federal Writers Project. This is Mr. Rogers' account of supernatural events that happened to his father before the Civil War. Not long ago, me pappy boarded the train, running from ghosts with iron chains. They eyes be a red. Didn't matter if they catch a nigger alive or dead. He say to me, little Johnny, it be 'fore niggers was free. I's old, but remember what he told me. He say Massa was angry his niggers kept escaping from the town of Cary. Wanted $100 for some, but $2,000 for Big Black Mary. She produced lots of chillins for both black and white. For about 20 years her legs was closed during the day, but open at night. Yes, Big Black Mary was sweet to Massa, all right. One night Pappy acted like he was dreaming, but it was just like Pappy to be always scheming. He heard about a train going west. To him, this meant freedom and nothing less. The next day, he told Big Black Mary, now was the time to leave the town of Cary. Pappy was a smart man. That night he had one rule. To avoid capture, he hid with the circus mules. Those paddy rollers was dumb and couldn't stand the smell, though they caught Big Black Mary and gave her hell. Screaming and a-hollering, shots went off through the roof from their guns. Ankles chained to the floor, back and forth they made her run. They laugh and whoop her harder when she fell or slipped. Blood and sweat poured down her face in a hellish drip. She run for a long time, speaking in tongues while they enjoyed their fun. Finally, from a distance, Pappy felt something needed to be done. Conjured a spirit, I expect he did, when a stream of blood rolled his way. Nobody believed me about what happened next day. The whole inside cabin turned to a reddish glow. A little old half-skeleton baby stumbled right up out the flow. "Ma, ma, ma, ma," he cried like he was scared to death. He stood beside Big Black Mary as she caught her breath. She looked up and say something strange. She had called them paddies by both their names. It was her and Massa's sons, Nathaniel and James. With one eye black swore like the other hanging in blue. She say, "For sure I know the both of you." The pain of truth had come undone of what she said. Pow pow, they blow off both their heads. Now you can take this with a grain of salt. But when that happened, Big Black Mary put God at fault. She could forgive what happened to Nathaniel and James, but not to undead Stephen. She was hurt and wanted to get even. A nasty blood deacon offered her a deal to cure her pain. It tricked her into forever haunting that bloodthirsty train.
Another brave soul desires to join us on our permanent track upon this moonless night. Aaron Besson weaves a tale that challenges your perception of all that exists. Yes. Be sure not to blink aboard my train. Aaron has a car all to himself as he hands over his bloody ticket, which reads Aaron Besson, the Gloaming Sisters.
Take it, please. The Gloaming Sisters by Aaron Besson. The train thunders over rails not yet laid. Its whistle sounds of birthdays and fog. Nobody knows if it is coincidentally twilight when the train comes through, or if the train brings twilight with it. At any rate, wherever the train is, so is twilight. The train doesn't have a starting station or a destination. You're only seeing it now because you don't have a starting station or a destination either, at least for the time being. The train stops in front of you. At least you think it did. You don't remember getting on the train, but then again, you don't remember waiting for the train. The train starts moving, or has been moving for years. One of the two. The sisters sit in their seats, all white lace and lilac. Each holds something in their hands. One has a small dove. It sings that song your grandmother taught to you, but not to your mother, because the song was a secret. It sings that song that went cheap when you taught it to the first person who broke your heart, because the song was known. It sings that song you love more than any other, because the song isn't written yet. One has a red rose. It should smell like a rose, but roses don't smell like the space between snowflakes. Roses don't smell like the dark, burnt by candlelight. Roses don't smell like the worst thing ever whispered. You remember this. The rose smells like a rose. One has your heart, but it belongs with her, so you leave it. One has a small, locked box. The key is a promise. The key is a second before you wake up from a dream. The key is a wish. You forget where you put it. The forgetting is a key too, but you forget that as well. One has a folded letter. It's written to you. It's a breakup letter, filled with sadness, hate, apology, and joy. You remember the day you wrote it. You never sent it. It is here all the same, and always will be. And now, you're standing at the station again. Either the train pulls away, or you do. It's all the same, really. It's twilight where you are, and always will be. At least, it's temporary.
A full roster we have as our final passenger for tonight boards just before the darkness. Stephen Alexander. A poem he has penned for his permanent seat and his mortal soul. So unaware is he as to this eternal exchange. Films. Films. Do you enjoy them? Well, perhaps Stephen Alexander may change your mind. His bloody ticket reads Stephen Alexander. Piano music. Flicker show.
Ticket, please. Piano Music Flicker Show by Stephen Alexander. Piano Music Flicker Show. So true, so true. Black and white celluloid delight. So true. Dastardly villain seizes damsel bright, a beauty rare with second sight, ruffles her dress and pulls her long hair, taunting and teasing, himself he is pleasing. Distress fills her visage, and she strikes back with pitter-pat taps, bap, bap, bap. That granddaddy laughs and laughs, silently she screams, as he winds her tight, heaves her like a sack, and lays her on the tracks. Not long now, not long at all, till that train comes roaring, mindless, remorseless, primal machine, stoked by desire. He twists the ends of his mustache and shows his shiny teeth, as she squirms and the rails rattle, and her moist eyes stare from the screen, brows knitted, beseeching. She searches the dark hall for a hero.
Yes, our guests have taken their permanent seats. From New York to time infinite. Are you ready to join them? Perhaps another story will lure you. Choose a car, any car, for the time we had a permanent guest, as they tell their tales of horror at its best. Come, yeah, join me. My name is Terror, who rides the rails eternally upon the terror train.
Survived this trek? No turning back. Dare resist, just try. Step back inside, we'll be your guide. So many ways to die. Upon this ride, nowhere to hide. With us, you shall remain. Upon this ride, this hellish ride, we call the Terror Train. Terror Train Podcast, Episode 109, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia. Produced by Krista Grabowski, David Schütz II, and Mary Genevieve Fortier. Podcast directed and arranged by David Schütz II. The Conductor, your narrator, was created by and played by David Schütz II. Terror, the Disembodied Voice, was created by and played by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Terror Train Podcast opening and closing poems written by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Host segment dialogue for Terror, the Disembodied Voice, written by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Production music: The House of Leaves, Chase Pulse, The Hive, and The Voices by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Featured works: Haikus, written by Brian Barnett. Production music: Ice Demon, and excerpt from Long Note 4 by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Last Train from Hamlet, written by Matthias Janssen. Production music: Inner Sanctum by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. The Ordeal of Mary Rogers, written by Abdul Qadir Tariq Bakari Muhammad. Production music: Colorless Aura and Red Letter by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. The Gloaming Sisters, written by Aaron Besson. Production music: Controlled Chaos, No Percussion by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Piano Music Flicker Show, written by Stephen Alexander. Production music: Inexorable, and excerpt from Long Note 4 by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Additional sound effects by AudioSoundClips.com. Podcast program edited by David Schütz II. The stories and poems presented in the Terror Train podcasts are all featured in the James Ward Kirk Publishing Anthology, Terror Train, which was edited by Krista Grabowski and A. Henry Keene. Cover art by Stephen Cooney. Content copyright 2014. Terror Train, Podcast Episode 109, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia. Copyright 2014.